Hey guys, Flegg here, founder of Ethical Property Partners, the place where we help our investors to make annual returns on their properties on a monthly basis. In this episode, I want to talk to you about why the current economic climate is amazing for property investment. And the main reason for that is because as inflation goes up, most businesses' costs also go up. So if you think about it, if you have a service business, so let's say you are washing cars, perhaps a while ago you charged £5 for each car you washed, and now you're going to be charging £7.50. Well, that's fantastic. But the problem is that your materials, your soap and your water have gone up. The people who are washing the cars has gone up, and your rent for your forecourt where you do your car washing has also gone up. So although you're charging 50% more for each car that's actually washed, all of your overheads have gone up. And so your gross profit and your net profit have probably not changed that much. Now, obviously, some businesses it would have gone down and some businesses net profit would have gone up. But in general, you've got your cost to your consumer going up and your expenses go up as well. And so there's not a massive advantage to you as business owners. And in fact, some businesses, you can't put your cost up because you have a very price sensitive business, but your costs to you still go up. So you can't get your income up, but your overheads go up. And that's where people implode, go into liquidation, bankruptcy, etc. during recessions. That often happens in times of high inflation. Property, however, is different. Why is it different? Well, rents are going through the roof at the moment. I cannot believe, and I've spoken on previous episodes, I cannot believe how quickly rents are going up. They have never gone up this quickly in my lifetime as an investor. Now, I've only been investing 15 years, but they've gone up more in the last 2 years than they have in the other 13. I cannot believe how quickly my rents are going up, which is amazing for us property investors. And if you're sat there thinking, yeah, but I haven't got any properties yet, well, the best time to plant a tree is today, as the Chinese say. If you didn't plant one 20 years ago, the best time is to plant one 20 years ago, but if you didn't, plant one today. So do get investing because rents are going through the roof, as are capital values at the moment. Am I saying that property's better than almost every other business out there? Well, the reason is our overheads aren't going up. If you think about it, rent has gone up, but our letting agents are still only charging a percentage. So let's say they're charging 10% commission. Our 90% income for us has just got bigger and bigger. Yes, their 10%'s got bigger, but our 90% has got bigger. And our mortgages, which is, to be honest, our largest expense as property investors generally, obviously you might have paid down your loan to values and you might have unencumbered properties in your portfolio, but most buy-to-let investors are using leverage of some kind, financial leverage. They've got private investment, they've got buy-to-let mortgages, etc. Most investors use some form of financial leverage. Those are not going up nearly as quickly, especially if you've got them fixed. So if you've got your mortgages fixed at the moment, your interest rates are fixed, your rents are going through the roof, you're raking it in because you're not having to employ individuals, because you don't have a team of people necessary. Now, yes, you'll have some maintenance, and yes, your maintenance costs will go up, but they're such a small fraction. It's like the letting agents. Yes, that will go up slightly. Yes, your maintenance will go up slightly, but your rents are going up so quickly. At the moment, inflation for us as investors is brilliant. Now, what you're going to say, or you might be thinking, is, yes, but when I come off my fixed term on my mortgage, my interest rates are going to go up. Yes, they are. That's absolutely true. And so that profit margin, which should be going through the roof at the moment, and if you're not doing this, you need to be going through every single property in your portfolio. I do this actively with my letting agents at the moment on at least every 2 monthly basis. And if you're not doing that at the moment, you really need to be, because rents, a £500 rent can easily be £700 now, even if you let the property 12 or 18 months ago. And that difference for you as an investor is huge, because you might have only been making £100, £150 a month at £500, but at £700, you're now making £350, £300 a month. It makes a massive difference, that increase in rent, because your mortgage payments aren't related to the income. Mortgage payments are dependent on the product that you have. So As everything in the country gets more expensive, and I've spoken about this before, our mortgages are actually shrinking in real terms. So yes, paying the interest on the mortgage might get more costly, and it will do over time as you drop off your fixed rates, which is why it's so important to get your rents up now, even to the extent that if you have a tenant at the moment who's been in for a while and can't pay more than they've been paying, then it's an opportunity to serve a Section 21, to evict them and re-let it at market rent. And I've talked about that previously, about us not being charities. Our businesses have to be robust. Our businesses have to be profitable in order for us to be charitable and to support good causes and to support our communities. It's important not to fall into that trap of, well, that tenant's been a good tenant and they've been in for a while, so I'm not going to put their rents up. Well, that's great until you are repossessed for failure to pay your mortgage, and then the tenant's without a home, so are you. You're also without a home because you've lost your portfolio. So it's very important to maximize the income on your portfolio right now before your mortgages start dropping off their fixed rates and start going up. But inflation will erode your interest-only mortgages. Most property investors use interest-only mortgages. They are shrinking at an amazing rate at the moment, as is our national debt. And so as everything gets more expensive, your fixed interest-only mortgage that perhaps was £100,000 2 years ago, in real terms, could easily be £95,000. So everything gets more expensive, but your mortgage doesn't. So your equity is growing, your rents are growing, your overheads are very marginally going up at the moment. It's a time to absolutely reap your harvest. It's a time to take in cash, to accumulate cash, because as interest rates rise and cost of living rises, there will be more and more motivated vendors in the market, and that's a given. More and more people will need to sell their properties to liquidate their equity in their properties because they can't afford their mortgages, because they can't afford their personal loans, because they can't afford their heating, their general living costs that have all gone up. There are many, many people in our country who won't be able to raise their income in line with rising costs of living. And if you think about it, in fact, Jim Rohn said this in one of his books. He said that we all are a business. I am Frank Flegg Limited. He said Inc., because in America, I think they're all Incs, Incorporated. But if you think of yourself as Frank Flegg Limited, you have a certain amount of money coming in every month and you have a certain amount of money going out every month. And as Richard Wilkins says, founder of the broadband consciousness movement, he's the self-appointed Minister for Inspiration. Richard Wilkins says, as long as you've got a positive at the end of the month, so as long as you've got more money coming in than going out, it's very easy to be happy. As soon as those go the other way round and your expenditure is higher than your income, so you're losing money, that's when it becomes really hard to stay happy. And I think that's a very, very true statement. So as cost of living goes up, some people will just be able to raise their income. So some people will be able to negotiate pay rises, they'll be able to change jobs, they'll be able to increase the profitability of their businesses, etc. But some people will be fixed for whatever reason. They'll have fixed incomes or very illiquid income levels, and they won't be able to rise. And so what will happen is their cost of living will go up and they'll need to sell their properties in order to meet their mortgage interest payments, for example. And when that happens, there are motivated sellers. That makes it a great time to buy property. Now, there should be a pent-up demand in you and in our industry to mop up those motivated vendors to buy those properties, because it's been harder to buy over the last 2 years. And so you'll notice I'm always glass half full when talking about the property market, and that's because sophisticated property investing works at every stage of the market. It works when the market's going up, as it is at the moment, because rents are going through the roof. There are lots of buyers who can't buy at the moment, so you can be doing, I've done episodes on this, you can be doing rent to buy deals, you could be doing all kinds of high monetization strategies. And then once we hit the crunch and people need to offload their properties but no one can buy because buying money or borrowing money gets too expensive, that's when you can swoop in and get your BMV deals and rebuild your portfolio, continue that growth in numbers of properties. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. It is an exciting time. It's a changeable time. We've talked about all the black swan events. We've talked about the strategies you should be using at the moment. We did our 5-part series just a few weeks ago. And so if you need any support whatsoever from us, just get in touch with us. We've got our country owners in Ireland, we've got our country owners in England and Wales, we've got soon to launch country owner in Australia. I'm so excited about the growth of EPP and the lives that we're changing in supporting sophisticated property investors to take their investing to the next level. If you want that to be you, do get in touch. We'd love to help. If you've got questions, drop them in the comments box below. If you'd like to be notified each and every time I release a video, then hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell, and if you know someone who you think would value watching this video, then please do share it with them, because that will help us to grow the channel. Guys, until next time, happy investing.